Welcome back to the channel, No Shoes Nation. We have 4 Kenny Chesney shows to review. We also have some news. We had a surprise guest. The surprise is already blown if you've seen the thumbnail, which you had to even get in here. It's at Old Dominion. Surprise Kenny Chesney at Evansville. We're going to talk about that. We've got the video of that. We're going to look at these last couple of shows. We're going to take a look at the set list. We're going to rate the set list. So we're going to get into this whole thing. I want to remind everybody to hit that like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe if you are a fan of Kenny Chesney's music, because this is a great place to come back to hang out, a community that we're building for us Kenny Chesney fans. So let's get into this. Let's take a look at the 4 shows we've had so far in May as, believe it or not, the I Go Back tour is starting to wind down. The official portion with Kenny and Kelsey is actually going to be over in just a couple more days. He has a few more festivals that he will be performing at, but not technically a part of the I Go Back tour with Kelsey Ballerini. So this is already winding down. I talked about this at the beginning of the season when we got the tour schedule. I was like, what? This thing is over in May? But it is, unfortunately, and then we'll have to start looking forward to maybe some new music, maybe a new, we will get a tour next year, most certainly, maybe a larger scale tour, a longer tour. Maybe we get back to some of those stadiums as well next year, but we'll find all of that out in good time. We did find out that Kenny was going to be adding a second show at the Orange Beach venue. That is going to be 2 shows now. That was announced just a couple of days ago. So now you're going to have May 26th and May 27th at the Wharf at Orange Beach. Head out to kennychesney.com. See if you can get some more information and some tickets. So let's get to the tour, and let's get to May 11th at Sioux Falls. We have a shot here from N Stevens 50 on Twitter and a clip of Kenny in Sioux Falls. We'll play that for a quick minute. Now that's what Kenny looks like when he's playing that song alone, which he has had to do all tour. But that is going to change in Evansville, and we will play that in just a moment. Next up, we have, I guess, some disappointing information, and that is that the Sioux Falls set list has not been posted. If you went to the Sioux Falls show and you maybe got a set list from the stage, or you can remember, you have that kind of a memory. It's all the way back on May 11th now, 13 days ago, but unfortunately there is no set list from Sioux Falls. Now, it's probably pretty similar to what we will see upcoming here. There's only been a couple of instances where it has changed, and we've seen a lot of these changes already. But unfortunately, again, no Sioux Falls set list. Let's move on to Lincoln on May 13th, and Kenny posting on YouTube after the Lincoln, Nebraska show. Lincoln, Nebraska, thank you for the loud, energetic, passionate Saturday night. I love this little girl. She was sobbing when Kelsey and I gave her that guitar. And a special thanks to my friend Matt Rule for coming to the show and letting me work out at the facility. Nebraska, you've got a really good football coach. Thanks again, Lincoln, for a great night. So good times had by Kenny and the fans in Lincoln, Nebraska. We have a clip from Mike O on YouTube with something from the good stuff. Now, it's really cool that he has been playing this song. Those of you not familiar, maybe this is, he hasn't been to many of these locations in a long time. So if you haven't been to a Kenny Chesney show in a long time, he has not played this song with regularity in years. So this has been one of the cool moments of the tour all season, bringing this song back. You see the crowd getting into it, holding the phones up, holding the flashlights up. So that was pretty cool. And the other element that has been added to the tour within the last couple of stops was also brought to the table and captured by Mike O 8074 on YouTube here with Kelsey and Kenny singing She Thinks My Tractor Sexy. She thinks my tractor sexy. Now, I really like that, especially because, well, he had not been doing that this season until they started doing this a few weeks back. And I also really like when you see Kenny have a guest on a song that's not originally with a guest. I think that's pretty cool that they started doing that this year. So some of She Thinks My Tractor Sexy in Lincoln, Nebraska on May 13th. Now, we do have the set list here, and this is something we've grown accustomed to. This is what the set list has transitioned to. We have She Thinks My Tractor Sexy taking the place of Wild Child a few weeks back. That's what they swapped out. There were a couple of shows that got both Wild Child and She Thinks My Tractor Sexy, so they got 4 songs with Kelsey. Only a few shows did. So that's what they have settled into right now. 1 through, well, this show is almost a carbon copy of what they've done the last few times out. The last probably 5 or 6 shows has been this set list. So we see Lincoln. This is a good one. We gave this a rating. It's going to carry over. We gave this a rating of 9.1. That will carry over. But maybe we make a change in a show or two because, again, we have a surprise guest, Old Dominion, surprising Kenny Chesney. After Lincoln on May 13th, we had Fort Wayne on May 18th. Here's a photo from ACWMC. This was the venue. They were putting some content out there, some photos on Twitter from the show. And here is a video from Concert Addict on YouTube with some of a clip from American Kids. All right, so there we have a little of American Kids. We get the set list here, and this is the exact same thing we just saw. So again, this is sort of what they're doing right now. This is the groove they settled into the last couple of shows. No real alterations being made. So Fort Wayne, again, holding right in there with that set list that we have rated at a 9.1. All right, the big surprise was in Evansville on May 20th. That was the last show. Here's a picture that was captured and put out on Kenny Chesney's Twitter account of the guys together before they went on and played. This was after the surprise. Kenny did not have a clue that this was coming, and the clip that we have on YouTube, we're going to play it in just a minute. You can kind of, I'm buying it. I don't think there was anything planned here. I think it was a complete surprise for these guys. Kenny Chesney on Twitter posting, I don't think I've ever been more surprised in my life. Actually, this is on YouTube. I don't think I've ever been more surprised in my life than I was Saturday night in Evansville, Indiana, by Old Dominion. I've missed them. I love them, and I'm proud of them. What a fun night. From Evansville to the Red Door, you can't make it up. So thank you, OD, Kelsey Ballerini, Graylin James, Roxy King, and Miles G for making it one special night on the I Go Back tour. And thank you, Evansville, for caring about the music. So really cool moment here. We talk about how at the end of this thing, we're going to sort of pull together a top 10 moments of the tour. And this is probably going to make the top 10 when Old Dominion surprised Kenny Chesney. Let's get to the video of that.
I got to tell you, I miss these guys so much. You know, they were on the road with us for so long, and now they're, you know, got too expensive, too famous. They're out doing their own. I'm very proud of them. They're out doing their own arena shows. I'm so proud of Old Dominion. Surprise. I am officially surprised. You know how hard it was to keep this secret. Yeah. Wow. Well, now we gotta do a couple. Yeah. So surprise. These two guys wrote this next song, and it is a pleasure to stand on this stage tonight in Evansville and sing it with them. All right? Thank you guys.
All right, would love to play more of that, but that's about as much as I can play without any copyrights. Ryan Lewis on YouTube capturing that moment. Really glad that Ryan was able to grab that and put that out there on YouTube. Make sure to check him out. I believe he has a bunch more from the Kenny Chesney concert in Evansville. So this is really cool. We have, again, Save It for a Rainy Day when they first came out. And like you said, he said, let's play 2. He also plays Take It Easy. This was a song that they played earlier in the year when Little Big Town surprised him. Here's about as much as I could play from Take It Easy with Kenny and Old Dominion. So there we go. We have Old Dominion surprising Kenny Chesney in hanging out for 2 songs. As we see on the set list here, we have our first 11 songs, sort of 2 script, and then Old Dominion coming out surprising Kenny Chesney for the 12th and 13th songs. And the way that this worked is it was an extra song. Nothing was pulled out, which is what you would expect, being that it was a surprise. So they got to 28 songs in Evansville, and again, had just a great night. The 3 songs with Kelsey Ballerini. Adding these Old Dominion songs in, adding Old Dominion to the fact is going to take us up to that level where we had a rating when we had the Little Big Town surprise. We're up at that 9 point. I'm going to give this a 9.3. The only reason I'm not going all the way to 10, I want to leave room because we still have some more shows for, I want to leave some room between here and 10. Maybe once we're done the end of the tour, we'll go back, take a look at all of these, and we will pick the top set list from all of these set lists that we have taken a look at. That might be kind of fun to do. Next up, we've got Charleston, South Carolina on May 25th, and Orange Beach gets to the 26th and the 27th. And again, that will be the end of this tour. He has some more shows, but they are not with Kelsey Ballerini. They are at festivals and other sorts of events that is at a golf course. So this will be the end, these 2 shows with the tour that's been out with Kelsey Ballerini. And it has been a good one. There have been a lot of great moments. Again, we will sort of do a overall tour recap. We will recap these 3 shows, and then we will recap the shows in June. Again, everything that is set up in June, it's a race out in Iowa, it's a golf course in New York, and it's other festivals, South Carolina, and other spots. So there we go. That is the recap and the news with this tour right now, the I Go Back tour for May 11th, May 13th, May 18th, and May 20th. If you have not yet, make sure to subscribe and stay close to the channel as we go through the rest of this tour, as we get into June, into those festivals, and then even once the tour is over. We know that there's going to be new music, and at some point we will be taking a look, reviewing, reacting to new songs, new albums, new music videos. We will be digging into some of our favorite songs, top 10 songs, top albums, top videos, all of that here on the channel to get us through that off season, which will be that period in between the tours. And we will, of course, look forward to the 2024 tour. But 2023 is not done yet. So again, make sure to subscribe and come back for the reviews for all of the remaining shows and any of the news that is around Kenny Chesney. Thank you guys for coming in. I encourage you to subscribe and hit that like on the way out. You made it to the end. So why not? It's free to subscribe, and it's a great way to show your support. So thank you guys for coming in. No Shoes Nation. Stay close to the channel. More Kenny Chesney content coming up. I appreciate you coming in and checking out this video, and I'll catch you all next time.